Knight Rider, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist. Michael Knight, a young loner on a crusade to champion the cause of the innocent, the helpless, the powerless, in the world of criminals who operate above the law.
Hello and welcome to Beyond the Night, brought to you by the GCRN and Audible.com. I am one of your hosts, Steve, Joe, and Mike, and joining me is Dion the Music Man. Hello.
Hello, how are you, good sir?
I'm pretty good. I'm getting sick of this weather.
You know what? We have snow here now.
Jeez.
By the time it's all said and done, they said we're supposed to have 6 to 10 inches tonight. And
we're supposed to, here in Louisville, I don't know, we're supposed to... Over the next 2 or 3 days, we're supposed to get anywhere from 2 to 6, but it's not supposed to. It's not supposed to stick.
Yeah.
Supposedly, it's not supposed to stick around. I don't know. But no, I'm doing pretty good. I'm just watching Knight Rider, doing other podcast stuff. We've got over at geekcastradio.com. As of this recording, there will be, when this gets published on Wednesday. There will be 2 days left to vote in Round 1, Part 1 of our 80s Cartoons Villains Tournament.
I saw something about that.
Hordak versus Skeletor, Cobra Commander versus Dr. Terror, King Zarkon versus Darkstorm, and Venger versus... Oh god, who's that other guy? Overlord. We're doing this kind of like a March Madness kind of thing. And it's... I like us doing a geek-specific tournament versus...
Basketball.
Yeah. I like college ball. I don't pay attention to it as much because my team isn't even in it this year, right. So I don't really care. And it's like... why can't I just switch to a channel that one of these games is on and somehow... Car interrupts it and it's a Knight Rider episode or something. I don't know. Oh god. Saturday night I was like, holy crap, TNT, TBS, True TV, all these Turner networks, all the networks that Ted Turner owns.
We're showing basketball.
It was all basketball, and I'm like, oh god, is there anything good on? I think I eventually ended up turning over to AMC, and A Few Good Men was on. But no, we are here to talk about 3 more episodes from Knight Rider Classic Season 3. Kit, hit the turbo boost.
I always thought there wasn't enough of me to go around.
Here, I always thought there was one too many.
Shall we say the price is 5 million cash, of course?
Shall we say, when can I get it?
Michael.
Just when you think he's run out of surprises.
First up is Night of the Chameleon. Michael poses as a mercenary to flesh out the Chameleon, played by Dick Gautier, master of disguise who stole a prototype jetpack from the government to sell on the black market. Interesting. This episode is very, very interesting because Dick Gautier is the voice of Rodimus Prime in Season 3 of Transformers, the G1 series. I was like,
cool.
Because when I first watched it, I was like, I wasn't really paying attention to the beginning scene where they're walking through the courthouse.
Right.
And I just heard the voice. I'm like, hey, wait a second. Oh my god, it's Rodimus Prime in the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty cool. I find this plot really interesting because you've got a guy who's basically a mercenary for hire who's going to steal stuff, and he's a master of disguise, and that's really cool. Although dressing up as the woman judge, that was a little freaky.
Yeah, that was kind of strange.
But I like it for that aspect. As far as the plot goes, I love the whole thing with the fact that he just seems to keep wanting to con his daughter and not even really be a part of her life. I like it for the whole emotional father-daughter thing with that, and I don't know. I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was a really good episode. What about you?
I like this episode for the same reasons you do, but there's one thing that I actually like out of this episode, and that's the fact that the daughter has morals and says, you know what, Dad, you got exactly what you deserved.
Yeah.
And, I don't really want to be a part of this. I really don't. I actually have morals, you don't. And, she was trying to let him know, look, you do what you want to do, but I'm not going to be a part of it.
Yeah, exactly. And
I also think too we see a little bit more into Michael Knight's past. Why is it that we see why didn't they just put like everything that had to do with his past in one damn season?
Okay, one season. Yeah, I could probably see that, but that's the thing though. It's like, not everything in your life comes up all at once.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, like, have them spaced out, yes. But I'm saying, why not put a lot of that stuff in one season? Because obviously, look at it. You have season 1, you have, him becoming Michael Knight.
Right.
He's shot for dead. We all know that. Season 2, we find out he has an evil twin. Obviously, let's do this in order. Season 1, he becomes Michael Knight. The same season, we find out there's a prototype car, a vehicle,
yeah.
Karr, not Kit.
Yeah.
Season 2, we find out he has a twin. Again in season 1, we find out in Whitebird, we find out about Stevie. Season 2, he's reunited. We're not up to season 4 yet, so I'm not going to throw that in, but you get my point.
Right, but see, that's the thing, though. You have to... The way that the Knight Rider timeline goes is it follows... Each season follows... In-universe, the years are the same. So,
right.
Season 1 was 82. That was 82. That was everything that happened in that... So, it has to be one of those things where... a natural progression, like something in season 1 specifically to Whitebird was that, she was, my fiance, she was going to be my wife X number of years ago when I was still a cop. And then you get, what's another episode? The one with his old partner, the one with the badge. Oh, jeez, I forget the name of that stupid episode.
Which season?
Jim. It was season 2. I think season 2 or season 3. I forget. It was recently.
It was 3. Season 3.
Yeah. So we
Night
get
of the
that.
Night of the Fast Lane.
Nights in the Fast Lane. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's a natural progression that things in your life are just going to come up, and I like that. I don't think if you took all the continuity episodes and put them as one season, because at this point there are so many of them.
Right.
I don't think that would have worked, because then you just have the throwaways, or the ones that are not that great, or the ones that no one cares about, like one we'll get to later today. But no, I like this because it shows that, and really it is
it's
continuity.
Not a bad episode. No.
No. But Night of the Chameleon more so is. It's more so not necessarily a continuity bit with Michael's past. It's more so a continuity bit with his caseloads, because they said that he had put him away the first time.
Right.
Or he'd helped put him away the first time, and that's how he knew Tony and whatever. So they do explain it, and I do like that.
Right.
So
I guess kind of my thing is, okay, like Michael says, I had the pleasure of putting him away,
Yeah.
I had and, Bonnie says, not since you put him away back in August 1982.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's like, okay, you put him away in 1982, so why didn't we see an episode with him and Michael going at it? I guess in the Knight Rider universe at that time. I
Because
guess.
wasn't it back when he was still a cop?
It didn't say.
Right, yeah. But again, it goes to show you that besides the episodes we get, he goes on, and we've known this. He goes on other missions.
Right.
Like there's been episodes where he's like, "But Devin, we have that thing in this city. Well, we need you here now more than there.
Right.
That can wait." So
Right.
it was probably one of those where it was like, "Yeah, hey, this happened." So
Yeah.
all right, let's get to the scanners.
Ah, look at it, Bryson. Smell it.
Yeah, they must have just waxed the floors.
I'm not talking about floors, Bryson. I'm talking about American jurisprudence, the District Court of Appeals, the conscience of the criminal justice system.
Save it for the judge.
Hey, I'm just warming up. You know, in this game, you got to come out of the blocks fast. Do you mind if we make a little pit stop?
You know, there's always something with you.
Bryson, will you lighten up? You'll live longer.
All right, let's turn these scanners on. What do you got?
Scanners on for this episode. Very good continuity. There is an actual decent plot. You don't get bored. Yay. And we get to see the Chameleon look like Michael Knight, which is quite scary.
Yeah. The lady judge was scarier.
Yeah, the lady judge was scarier, especially since that was at the beginning.
That was way scarier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was good. The whole episode was really good. I'm actually glad in the DVD sets we actually get to see cut scenes that you don't see on the TV versions.
Okay.
So there you go. That's
what are the cutscenes?
Some of the you know when they edit out a lot of cut scenes, like you would see what's one of the scenes where the guy has Tony hostage. Well, she's not hostage, but she's scared. And they come back from the commercial break, and the guy's like, "You first, Knight. No funny stuff, or the girl gets it first." And they go outside, and you see one of the cut scenes. This is actually a cut scene where Kit is monitoring Michael, and he flips over to a channel where Devin is waiting, and Kit says, "Michael was right, Devin. It's a trap." And, you know, he's talking to Devin back and forth. They're talking back and forth. And then he flips back over to the channel where Michael is at. And you hear Michael say, "Phase 2, Kit, right now." That scene was never in the TV version. It was actually cut.
Well, it's in the Netflix version because they got the Netflix version, the streaming versions.
Yeah.
They got them from the DVD set, I bet, because it's there.
Right. But I'm saying on the television side of things, that was never there.
Yeah, I don't remember that far back. I'm too old at this point.
Other than that, let's see. Good scenes there. Just overall, the story was not boring. You could actually follow it.
Yeah.
I like one of the funny lines I like that Michael was actually able to deliver with a straight face was, "He attacked. I just retaliated."
Yeah.
So, you know, and that was at the bar, you know, at this exclusive club thing, you know, so.
Yeah. I find it very interesting, and we mentioned this last week, the reuse of actors in this show. They love to reuse actors, which is a good thing. Riles, the guy that was with Armand.
Yes, Armand Pressler.
Yeah, Riles, the bald white guy, would go on to play Jim Hauer, Nordstrom's left-hand man.
Get out of here!
Go back and watch it.
Oh my God, that was him.
Look when he says, you know, it's okay, Riles, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's the guy that plays Jim Hauer in
Season 4.
Yeah. Yeah, so I thought that was cool.
That was neat. I didn't know that was him.
Yeah.
Because he never speaks at all.
No, he does speak a couple of times.
I'll have to watch it again.
Yeah, you will. That's one mean jetpack. My only question was how in the world, when you look at that thing on the Chameleon's body,
Yeah.
how would that would not logistically work. He would have been blown up if you fired a missile out of that thing. Like there were no extended turrets for missiles or anything. That jetpack pretty much took up his whole upper body.
Yeah, and you're right. If he did, yeah, that wouldn't work.
Yeah. So there's no way in hell that attaching missiles to that wouldn't have blown the wearer up. I mean that made no sense to me whatsoever.
No, I didn't get that either.
Yeah. All right. You got anything for Scanners Off? Anything you didn't like about this one?
Scanners Off? No, I really don't have anything. There's not really much to say. There isn't anything bad to say, at least from my perspective on this episode.
Yeah, outside of the jetpack thing that I just mentioned,
right.
there really is. I mean, it's a solid episode. It's a really good episode. So, I think we are gonna move on.
The man is dead.
You don't know much about this business, do you?
It had to have at least 450 horsepower.
What keeps us from being Grebs' next accident?
You've hired a brand new head of security.
By forcing Greb's hand, we have placed ourselves in a state of war.
This isn't business anymore. This is personal.
Next up is Custom Made Killer. An extortionist, James Luisi, is out to sew up the garment industry and hires a hitman with killer car to cut his competition down to size. For laughs, the photographer and model use Kit as a model stand. Oh boy. Yeah, the stuff with Kit is really the only good thing about this episode.
Yeah, that's kind of the only note I had for this.
Yeah,
there is a question I do have.
Yeah.
There is a question I do have. And everybody knows that when you're doing a lot of this stuff, like, you'll see the scene I'm getting to, but it's when Kit says, Michael has a call from Joan. Sorry if my headphones went out. Michael has a call from Joan, and the elevator was right. Well, he goes up there, and he sees the killer car. Okay, is that David or David's stunt double?
I couldn't tell you. It looked like David to me.
Because, and obviously, obviously they're faking it to make him look really hurt.
Right.
But I'm like, okay, is that David that's doing that, or is that his stunt double? And obviously they're using David's voice overdubs, for stuff like that. Because I'm like, okay, how are they doing this?
I don't know. I'm not sure. But basically the point of this episode is there's this dude that's basically a loan shark, or basically, some sort of gangster who's got himself in the garment industry, and he's controlling all these manufacturers and people who design clothes and everything else, and it's like, ugh. And it's like he has to hire a killer to get rid of the competition. Ugh. Lame.
Yeah.
I will say that the car looked cool with the battering ram. It doesn't have, a metal detonator attached to it like something in season 4 will, but that car was kind of cool, and I did like the whole wash away paint thing. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
But overall, the plot for this one just kind of is like, eh.
Kind of there, but just something,
Yeah.
kind of a throwaway episode, sort of.
Pretty much. So we're going to get to the scanners. All right, let's turn the scanners on. And I will say that, the whole car thing and pushing them on the tracks or pushing them over the cliff, that is a pretty interesting way, especially, how the first paint version of the car looks pretty badass, and I thought that was kind of cool.
Right.
Be good. Be serious, Michael. I'm always good. You know that. It sneezed. It, you mean he. Poor model. I love that whole scene.
I do too.
Like I said, the wash away paint was cool. I'm not sure if that was a stunt double or if that was actually David Hasselhoff doing that, because he got knocked around pretty good.
I know, and that's what I'm wondering.
I know he did have a stunt double for some stunts, but I just don't know if there's a stunt double out there that is his height that can kind of, even with the clothes on, even if the dude's face doesn't, like, because those stunts, you get hit by a car unless they're giving you a close up to the face. Obviously the stunts are done where they're not shooting in the face,
right?
So I'm not sure. It looked like it was David doing it to me.
I'm wondering if it was David, because like I said, there have been several stunt people, in different movies, or shows. But then right. I remembered in one of the conventions on YouTube, they said one of it was showing David's stunt double, and I'm thinking, okay, so in Custom Made Killer, was that David or was that someone else?
I think it's David, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Anything you didn't like about this one?
The plot.
Yeah, pretty much.
The whole plot, just like okay, the comedy with Kit, that was cute, and the whole wash away paint, and that's against the rules, and he starts using it. Oh, take all the soap you want, no problem, and yeah, I would suggest you just let him do what he wants.
But see, that's the thing, though. It's like, it makes no sense if, I don't know, car washes back then used to have both self-serve and, you would hand it over, to the attendants. Every car wash I ever went to as a kid, it was always, you don't hand it over, but they do it for you, so you basically ride through it just like he rode through it. So I don't see why that would have been against the rules.
I didn't get it either.
I didn't really get the whole car wash scene, other than the fact that, like I said before, I understand why he did that, because it's wash away paint or chemically induced paint where it just washes away or whatever. Right. So I don't know.
Nobody can track the car.
Yeah, this episode's just, it's not one I can go back to, I don't think. Nope. All right, we'll be back in a moment.
That horse died. Hearing and believing are two different things.
We did it, bud. We made him disappear into thin air.
I had Lewis show you the coming attractions in case your horse scam bottoms out.
Something tells me that King Jack is still alive and kicking.
Losers don't last long in my stable.
You got a winner there. Now, first it was a horse. Now there's a human life at stake. Now, where is she?
Michael!
Max, hang on!
And finally, up today is probably the worst episode in season 3. Night by a Nose. What the hell kind of title is that when it has nothing to do with Knight Rider or noses or anything? It's a lot of horse pucky, damn it. The quote-unquote death of a thoroughbred racehorse is staged by its owner, played by Patrick St. Eastspirit, to cover gambling debts with the money from the black market sale of the horse. Oh boy. Thoughts?
I don't. Okay. It just teaches Kit not to gamble. Again, this episode really, I understand what they were trying to go for was a plot, but it just didn't work.
No, it didn't work at all. What I do find funny, though, is that it's basically a reversal of character here with Kit and Michael, because normally it's Michael asking for the money.
Yeah, now that is funny.
And I thought that was funny, but I don't know, I just don't care for this one. It's not one that really, I got attached to, even as a kid. Granted, it's no boring episode like certain season 2. Oh, hurry up! She needs a transplant. Episode.
You're just so stuck on that, aren't you? God! Why are you just... Why?
That is probably, honestly, so far, that's probably my least, like, if I was making a worst episode list of the entire series so far to season 3, that would be number 1.
I could see why, because you just... What? Ah!
But anyway, back to Night by Nose. It's one of those things where it has suspense, it has action, but at the same time, the whole plot is...
It's basically gambling, if you will.
Yeah.
That's all it really is.
Yeah, it's not that good. It's not that great of a plot. So let's get to the scanners. Alright, let's turn the scanners on. Okay, I do like the symmetry between Michael and Kit driving to the horse, and I think her name was Mac riding. I like that whole beginning scene where they're showing her riding the horse, and then they're showing Michael and Kit driving. I like that whole scene there. As I said before, that's pretty much all I have for scanners on, because the other 2 notes I have is all scanners off. I mean, it's like, while the episode does have action and it, the plot in itself, as you said, it's basically just gambling, and it's kind of lackluster to me overall. I don't know. What did you like about this one? Anything?
Some lines that Kid says. One of them is, "Really, Max? That taught me. Really, Max? That's like the tail wagging the horse." And that's when he's scanning the syringe that they find.
Yeah.
The other scene I like is when the guy is trying to bet, and Kit's giving him predictions.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So it's kind of like Kit gets to sort of star on his own in this one again.
Yeah, I did like that about it, but at the same time, the overall plot and what Michael has to do is just...
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As far as scanners off, this episode is a generic horse scam plot. I don't much care for it, and I think that some of the emotion is so overacted.
It's overdone.
It's so overdone. It's like, you leaving a pizza in the oven too long and it turns out black.
Yeah.
Burnt to a crisp. It just, I don't know. What didn't you like about this one?
It's one that you can watch, but not one that you could mark as a favorite.
No,
episode.
not at all.
You just really can't.
Not at all.
But see, this episode would go under your episode that you don't like in season 2 because it needs a transplant because you don't like that one and it's so bad.
Well, yeah. Because that one is worse than this one. At least this one's semi-watchable.
No, what? Good Lord.
And on that note, we're going to go to a quick ad break and we'll come back after this.
Kid?
Yes?
Shut up.
Coming to Grand Rapids, Michigan on September 21st and 22nd is GrandCon Gaming and Comics Convention, presented by Celebration Cinemas. Join us in playing or chatting it up with fellow enthusiasts in a community that understands your passions. Get lost in the adventure of your favorite role-playing game. Admire costumes and art from vendors and attendees. Meet the creators behind your favorite mainstream and independent games and comic books. Check out unpublished games and sneak peek at things to come. You can get all this and more at GrandCon. For more information, please visit www.grand-con.com.
The Pull Bag is the GCRN's place for everything you need in the comic book world. We focus on new and current comics, while also tackling a few back issues here and there. So join the entire GCRN crew and see what issues the hosts have with today's panels. You can find The Pull Bag on iTunes and geekcastradio.com. Make your great escape into comics.
This is 80s action sensation Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I'm here to tell you about the podcast I produced called Punisher Body Count. It's the net's best Punisher podcast, but don't take my word for it. Listen to the hosts. Punisher Body Count is a work in progress. To listen to this great show, you can find us on iTunes. Just search Punisher Body Count or come to our website, punisherbodycount.com.
Kid?
Yes, Michael.
Just keep driving.
All right, we are back. Final thoughts on Night of the Chameleon, Custom Made Killer, and Night by a Nose.
Night of the Chameleon, good. We're doing the rankings, I assume, so five kits for this one.
Yeah.
Custom Made Killer gets a 2.
Yeah.
Night by a Nose. I can't even. Big fat goose egg for me. I mean, even though there is some comic relief, I just can't even put I can't do it.
I don't remember what I ranked Race for Life, but if it was a goose egg, Night by a Nose is a little bit better than that. For me, Night of the Chameleon gets a 5. Custom Made Killer gets a 2.
Mm-hmm.
And Night by a Nose gets a 0.5, or I don't know. No, it gets a 1. It's just
I just can't put any kit cars there on that episode. I just can't. I'm not saying that, the thought wasn't bad, but I think if it had a stronger plot,
yeah,
then it might have gotten a ranking, but nah.
Yeah. So, all right. You want to tell people about your other stuff that you do?
Yep. If you want to check me out on sky106.net, I am on there from 6 to 9 p.m. Central, 7 to 10 Eastern. I do a show called Music Man's Mayhem with a co-host. You'll see who that is once you go up to the website. You can follow us on Twitter, and you can also send us feedback. I'm not going to talk about MSN anymore because MSN's pretty much dead. We all know that. But there you are, www.sky106.net, and I even promote geekcastradio.com over there. So
sweet, awesome, thank you.
Oh yeah,
yeah. MSN is Skype. That's what MSN is now. All right. Thank you for joining us here on Beyond the Night. There are several ways to get in contact with us to leave feedback for the show. Visit the website, geekcastradio.com. You can comment on each and every episode post that we do for this show and everything else that we do. Email us, feedback at geekcastradio.com. Leave the show's feedback in iTunes. We're still working on that. Follow us on Twitter. At Beyond the Night is the show Twitter. Mine is TFG1Mike. And you already gave out your Twitter, right?
No, I did not. Mine is the Music Man 08, TheMusicMan08. So you guys can follow there.
Somebody, who missed the last chair? I feel like I was playing a game of musical chairs there for a second.
Why?
You can also follow all the other network updates at Geekcast Radio. Become a fan on Facebook, facebook.com/Geekcast Radio Network. Call the voicemail line. Tell us the show you're leaving the message for and your name. 502-526-5821. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Beyond the Night and wish you'll join us next time when we will be reviewing 3 more episodes from Knight Rider Classic Season 3. Those being... oh no... Junkyard Dog, Buyout, and Nightlines. Yeah, Junkyard Dog is gonna...
this is gonna be sad.
Yeah, it's gonna be very sad. So, for now, I am TFG1Mike with...
the Music Man 08.
Kit, close the show.
I think this has gone far enough. Adios, amigos.